Welcome, friends, to episode 88 of Storytime Yoga. We are in a different place here. We're just going to go live on Instagram as well. All right, my friends, we're now live on Instagram as well. Welcome. So let me just, I'm just going to turn the volume down here. And we're now live on Instagram as well. Welcome. Trying to figure out the volume here, friends. Hang on a moment. I'm going to turn the volume down here. We're hearing ourselves. There we go. Now we've got the volume out. We need to welcome some friends to the watch party. We've got a couple of friends watching there. Okay, so we're in a different location today. We are on location in Collingwood, my dear friends, for this weekend. Thank you for joining us. And today we are reading The Pumpkin Blanket. I am so excited to have all of you back here for Storytime Yoga. We've taken a little break, but today we are reading The Pumpkin Blanket. I'm going to hold it up there for our Instagram friends. There we go. And The Pumpkin Blanket is written by Deborah, Turney, Zagwyn. It's a wonderful story to start off this wonderful fall, my friends. Okay, so for today and tomorrow, we're 10 o'clock today. We're 9 o'clock tomorrow on Sundays, Eastern Standard Time. As usual, I will plop the links here. I'm going to get up to my computer here. I will plop the links in the comments to purchase this book if you'd like to purchase it and follow along with the replay later on. We'll get those into the comments right now. And as always, I am wearing my Zyia activewear. So if you're interested in Zyia activewear, please do also follow the links for the Zyia activewear. All right, there's the first link. Here's the second. And we'll get you the links for the activewear. There they are, my friends. All right, there's all of the links in the chats and in the comments, my friends. Please do comment if you're here, hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Please do let me know when you join in, friends, so that I can give you a shout out. Devinder is here on our watch party and he says, good morning. Good morning, Devinder. Thank you for joining us today. All right, friends. I invite you all to your mat, your blanket, or your piece of floor. I'm going to step back to my mat while we get started. Okay, my friends, you're just going to make sure you can see me here. So we are in a different setup today, friends. Yeah, I'm going to move over just a bit so you can see me. There we go. Okay, we're going to go crisscross applesauce or in Hero's Pose. Remembering that Hero's Pose is on the fronts of our legs there. And we're going to sit up nice and straight and tall to begin class. Good job, my friends. Sitting up nice and straight and tall, we're going to start class with our breathing. And if you're joining us for the first time, my friends, this is our breathing ball. And as we breathe in and we make our belly all full like a big balloon, we make our ball big. And as we breathe all of that air out of our belly, we make our ball small. So sitting up nice and straight and tall, we're going to start our first round. Breathing in and out. In and out, in and out. Good job, my friends. Now remembering that we're breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth or our nose, whichever is comfortable. And we're keeping these shoulders in neutral position. We're not hunching them up as we breathe. Okay, my friends? One more round of that breathing. Breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. Good job, my friends. Okay, I invite you all to stay on your mat, your blanket, or your piece of floor while I come forward to begin our story. All right, it looks like Fran has joined. Bubby has joined. Welcome. Bubby says hashtag live. All right, welcome. We've got a new system going here, Bubby. We don't have all of the equipment that we normally have in our studio at home. We are on location here in Collingwood for this weekend. And today's book is The Pumpkin Blanket. All right, my friends, let's get started. This is a lovely little book for fall. The pumpkin blanket is written by Deborah, Turney, Zagwyn. There we go. I'll make sure you can see it. When Clee was born, the northern lights shook their folds above her bed, but no one saw them. Clee's family only had eyes for Clee. Later, the door blew open and the wind tossed a blanket inside. Swish. No one heard. Clee's family only had ears for Clee. Her mother called the blanket a gift, but could not remember who had given it. An aunt, Clee's mother guessed. A shy but friendly neighbor, ventured an aunt. Clee's father said nothing. He thought the sunny-colored squares of the blanket looked surprisingly like his garden patch. Let's call it the pumpkin blanket, he suggested, because round baby Clee looked a lot like a pumpkin bundled up in it. All right, here's her beautiful blanket. Let's make sure we can all see there, friends. Here's her beautiful blanket, all sprawled out. We'll come a little closer so you can see that blanket. And up here for my Instagram friends, there's her blanket whooshing into the house down here for my YouTube and Facebook friends. So we're going to pretend that we're that blanket, my friends. All right, just make sure we don't have anybody else to say hi to. We're going to make sure that we'll pretend that we're that blanket, friends. So we're going to come and we're going to lay on our belly. I may have to move that camera, friends. We'll see. We're going to lay on our belly and we're going to do Superman pose, okay? Like a big blanket. So on the count of 3, we're going to lift our arms and our legs. Our legs are straight back behind us with our toes pointed. Our arms are in front of us with our fingers pointed forward. 1, 2, 3, we're going to lift. And I'm going to bend my arms because we're pretending that we're covering like a big blanket. Pretend that you're covering your favorite stuffy or covering your favorite place to sleep. Like a big blanket. Holding those legs and those arms, friends. Good job, my friends. Pushing back out of that Superman pose. Good job, my friends. And I think I'm going to have to move this camera up a little bit because I don't know if you're going to be able to see me sitting. It looks like Jitendra has joined us as well. Welcome, Jitendra. The pumpkin blanket was a close friend to little Clee, light, warm around her body, soft and dreamy between her fingers, smooth under her cheek. There's little Clee up here for my Instagram friends. There's little Clee under her pumpkin blanket, laying. One cold winter's night, when the garden had a snowy blanket of its own, Clee, who was 3, peered out her bedroom window. She could see the coyotes sniffling and pawing the frozen compost heap. Clee shivered as they raced back, yipping and yowling through the birch tree skeletons into the dark forest behind. Only the treasured pumpkin blanket wrapped around her ears could stifle their voices. It was coyote-proof. One hot summer's afternoon, when the garden was abuzz with insect excitement, Clee, who was 4, sorted through the compost pile rottings for baby worms. Later, when one escaped from her shirt pocket at the dinner table, Clee was scolded and sent upstairs. There, the pumpkin blanket was waiting and covered her like a tent. Peeking out from underneath, Clee saw folds like distant mountains and wrinkles like waves on a patchwork lake. And there she is, peeking out of her window and peeking out from under her blankie. All right. We're just going to say hello to a few more friends there. We're running our watch party on a different place too. All right, friends, coming to your mat, your blanket, or your piece of floor, we're going to go down into the same position on our belly, and we're going to be the little worms that Clee found in the compost bin. So I want you to come down on your belly, point those toes behind you, putting those hands underneath your shoulders, and we're going to slowly lift up and straighten those arms. Good job, my friends. This is Cobra Pose, so we're being those little worms that Clee found in the compost bin. And what did they do? They escaped at the dinner table, didn't they, my friends? All right, pushing back out of that Cobra Pose. Good job, my friends. Coming back to our story. Okay. One day late in September, Clee, who was 5, was dancing with her blanket by the garden. Sometimes it was her cape or it was her swirling skirt. Sometimes she held it high in the sky to flutter like the autumn leaves. Clee's father was busy in the garden rows, harvesting the vegetables. One by one, the bright-colored patches disappeared into buckets. Green leaves were piled on the compost heap. Soon all that remained were the pumpkins. And there she is. She is dancing away up here for my Instagram friend. She is dancing away on her blankie. So I'm going to see, friends, if I might have to move this camera up a bit so that you can see me in dancer pose. Yeah, we're going to have to lift it. We don't have as much room here as we do at home, friends. We're limited with room. All right, there we go, friends. All right, so I'm gonna point this way so that you can see me, friends. I'm gonna have about this much room in between my legs, okay? And I'm gonna go this way, and we're gonna lift one leg. We're gonna get our balance, and we're gonna grab that ankle with the same arm, same leg, okay? I'm gonna come forward a little bit, and I'm gonna push that ankle back into my foot, and I'm gonna raise my arm. This is dancer pose, friends. We are dancing out with our blanket, just like Clee was dancing with her blanket outside. Good job, my friends. And we're going to go to the other side. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me there. So I'm going to lift one leg, get my balance. I'm going to grab that ankle, same arm, same leg, okay? I'm going to slowly lean forward and bring that leg back, okay? I'm pushing that ankle out into my hand, and I'm raising that arm. This is dancer pose, friends. If you're wibbly and wobbly, go up against a wall or find a spot on the floor. And we're dancing with our blanket, just like Clee danced with her pumpkin blanket. Good job, my friends. All right, Michael Brooks is here. We're going to wave to everybody. Thank you for joining us. All right, please do comment. Let us know what's going on with you today, my friends. Clee's father leaned on his shovel. Clee would go to kindergarten in the local school after Christmas. She could not carry her pumpkin blanket to class. The other children would tease her when she stroked the satin edges, soft and dreamy and smooth, under her cheek. All right, so there's her father in the pumpkin patch up there for Instagram. Right here, there's her father working in the pumpkin patch, and he's seeing Clee run about with her blanket. All right. Clee, her father called, do you know that there are 12 pumpkins in our garden, just as there are 12 squares in your blanket? Put this back down, friends. There we go. Just realized that it's hard for you to see. There we go. Clee hung on the garden fence, admiring the perky globes peeking out from under their wilting vines. Will they have faces, Papa, when Halloween comes? Will they grow teeth and grin? Yes, her father said. If they don't freeze this month, we can harvest them in October. We will have a family of faces on our porch this Halloween. Clee smiled. That night, the first frost came. The next morning, Clee and her father saw that one pumpkin was not sheltered by the vines. It stood alone. Now, here's Clee. She is actually sitting beside the pumpkin patch up there for my Instagram friends. She's sitting beside the pumpkin patch. Now, I'm going to bring my camera back down again because we are going to come down to the floor. And we are going to do butterfly pose, and we're going to sit like Clee is, and we're going to look through the fence into the pumpkin patch. So I want you to bring the soles of your feet together, feet, not feet, together, my friends, and we're going to hold those feet with our hands, and I'm slowly going to be like a butterfly with my knees. See how I'm pumping my knees up and down? And I can go slow or I can go fast. I'm going to go slow. My hip's bothering me a bit this morning. All right, so then I'm going to be static. That means I'm going to stay still, and I'm just going to, with the power of my knees, I'm going to push those knees down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward a little bit, okay? Not too far. Don't hurt your back, but I'm leaning forward a little bit because I'm peering through the fence at the pumpkins. Look at the pumpkins in front of you. Tell me what your pumpkins look like, my friends. Are they round? Are they long? Are they green? Are they orange? Are they small? Are they big? Tell me what they look like, my friends. Good job, my friends. Now slowly we're going to come up out of that and come back to our story. All right. Goodness me. Hang on a sec, friends. We need to get rid of a comment there that wasn't very nice. All right, we have lots of friends that have joined. Obadiah is here. Nick Smith is here. Jeffrey Allen is here. Hello, my friends. Thank you for watching. All right. Clee, her father asked, will you share your blanket with the pumpkins? One square would cover the shivering pumpkin and save it from frost. A lump came to Clee's throat, but she nodded. Then her father reached for his pocket knife and carefully cut the threads, separating one square from the pumpkin blanket. Gently, Clee covered the pumpkin. The next morning, Clee and her father hurried to the pumpkin patch. There was the pumpkin, plump as a melon, under its little square shawl. It had survived the frost, but another pumpkin had become exposed as the vines fell away. Clee knew that without a cover, the frost would bite it hard. She gave up one more square from her pumpkin blanket. All right, so we've got a cow, a little calf, watching Clee cover up the pumpkins with her blanket. So we're going to come down to the floor. We're going to do cat-cow pose. All right, so who remembers, we do, when we do cow pose, we always do cat too. So who remembers how to do this? It's been a while, my friends. So we come to tabletop, and as we breathe out, we drop our head, drop our bum, bring our belly up, and this is cat pose. Now we're going to go down into cow. We're going to breathe in. We're going to bring up our head and our bum and drop that belly. Okay, that's why we have that belly full of air now. Breathing out into cat, drop your head, drop your bum. Breathing in, dropping that belly, bringing your bum and your head up. This is cow. Now we're going to go into cat. And we're pretending that that pumpkin is underneath us here. We're going to cover that pumpkin. Breathing in to cow. Breathing out to cat. The pumpkin is underneath you. You're sheltering it. Breathing in to cow. Breathing out to cat. Shelter that pumpkin, my friends. Good job. Just like the blanket in Clee's story, we all sheltered the pumpkins. All right, Scylla's here. Thank you for joining us. Lots of friends joining us this morning. Night after night, the cold nipped at the garden. Night after night, Clee gave another square to another pumpkin to keep its head warm. In the early October night sky, the northern lights began to flicker faintly again. Finally, Clee had only one square left. It was her favorite, the one with the widest satin edge, soft and dreamy between her fingers and smooth under her cheek. And here's the wintry farm up here for my Instagram friends. There is the wintry farm. All right, let's find out. Do you think Clee shares that last little piece of blankie? What do you think, my friends? Do you think she's going to share it? That day, Clee did not go to the garden with her father. I think she's scared to share it. She sat on her bed and looked down at the pumpkin patch. 11 pumpkins wore 11 little blankets. The 12th pumpkin was bare. It was the biggest pumpkin of all and the last one to be uncovered by the vines. When dinner time came, Clee wasn't hungry. She sat by her window and watched the wind blowing the dead leaves in circles around the pumpkins. The vines stiffened with cold. Darkness was falling on the garden. Clee clutched her tiny pumpkin blanket tightly in her hand, then her fingers loosened. She stroked the satin border one last time. Up here for our Instagram friends, there's Clee sitting on her bed, stroking the blankie one last time. All right, let's come to our mat, our blanket, or our piece of floor, and we are going to do chair pose. I'm going to lift this camera just a little bit so that you can see me, my friends. Okay. All right. Oh, my head's cut off there, friends. Sorry about that. We'll get used to how this is just for a couple of days, my friends, and then we'll be back to our own stuff. So I'm going to put a little bit more room between my legs than I did with dancer pose. I'm going to have a nice wider stance, okay, like shoulder width apart, okay? I'm going to pretend there's that bed behind me, Clee's bed, right? And I'm going to put my arms up, and I'm going to sit back onto that bed, just like Clee is. And I'm going to bring my hands down because I have a blankie in my hands too. Do you have your favorite blankie there, friends? Get your favorite blankie and put it in your hands. And we are sitting back on Clee's bed, looking out the window. What do you see out the window, friends? Stroke your favorite little blankie, your silky part of your blankie, or whatever comforts you, my friends. Whatever your comfort is, sitting back in that chair, holding that chair pose, sitting back on your bed, pretending you're looking out the window. What do you see? Is it wintry out there? Is it snowing? Is it a bright sunny day? What's out your window, my friends? All right, good job coming back up out of that pose. We're going to just bring the camera down again so that you can see me reading. All right, Clee padded down the stairs and out the back door. She opened the garden gate and found her way to the pumpkin patch. The wind held its breath. The leaves lay still. Clee tucked her last scrap of pumpkin blanket around the biggest pumpkin of all and ran back to the house before she could change her mind. See, I knew that Clee had it in her. There we go, friends. I'm going to show you. This is her little doggie with her in the pumpkin patch. And her little doggie kept her company while she did the bravest thing of all. And she gave up her last square of wonderful blankie to the very last pumpkin. I'm going to bring this camera down, my friends, so that you can all see. There we go, because we're going to do downward doggy pose. All right, coming to your mat, your blanket, or your piece of floor. We're going to do downward doggy, my friends, and we're going to be Clee's doggy that kept her company while she gave up that last square blankie. So I'm going to go like this from hero's pose and come up into tabletop. And then I'm going to take my toes and we're going to tuck those toes under and come up into downward dog. I'm going to push right back and bend my knees so that I can get right back into that doggy. I'm going to try and straighten those legs now. But my bum is nice and high and my back is long. Now wave your tail, friends. Wave your doggy tail. All right, you ready, friends? One leg up, three-legged doggy. Good job, my friends. Bringing that foot down. Other leg up, three-legged doggy. Good job, my friends. Coming back out of that downward dog. Good job, my friends. Okay, what happens next, do you think? What happens next? Let's just check our watch party there. Good job, my friends. Clee missed her pumpkin blanket. She had a new down comforter, but it covered without comforting her. Only the sight of the blank-faced pumpkin in their woolen kerchiefs cheered her. Each of the blanket patches was the same color now, faded by the autumn sun and rain. Each clung to its orange pumpkin like a threadbare hat. And there they are, friends. There's all the little pumpkins up there for my Instagram friends with their little blankies all on top. And there's Clee in her bed, laying in her bed, a little lonely without her blankie, right? A little lonely. On the evening before Halloween, Clee and her father took the wheelbarrow down to the garden for the last harvest. They separated the brittle vines from the yellow-orange gourds, and Clee imagined sewing her blanket back together. She took the first square from the pumpkin closest. It no longer felt soft and dreamy between her fingers or smooth under her cheek. All right. Suddenly, a gust of wind pulled the scrap right out of Clee's hand, carrying it above and beyond her reach. Clee and her father watched the wind flip the pumpkin squares off all the rest of the pumpkins, blowing them high above the birch tree forest. The pumpkin squares tumbled upwards, floating higher and higher on a playful current of wind into a sparkling sky. Isn't this such an amazing, amazing descriptive book? The sparkling sky and the currents of winds and the birch tree forest. It's so beautiful. And there's Clee watching her blanket go. Now we are going to pretend to be the birch tree forest now, friends. So I'm going to bring this camera up again so that you can see me, because we are going to be those birch trees, my friends. All right, my friends. So I'm going to lift one leg, get my balance. Okay. I'm going to either put those toes on the floor. I know some of you can't see my toes on the floor, but you know how we usually tripod on the floor by just tucking those toes onto the floor with our foot up against our ankle. Or if my balance is good, I'm going to bring my foot above or below my knee. Okay, so I've got mine above my knee there. And I'm going to bring my hands to heart center to get my balance. And then when I have my balance, I'm going to bring those big birch tree arms out. And you might be swaying in the wind a little bit. That means you might be a little wibbly wobbly, and that's okay. If you have little friends at home, brothers and sisters, or if you have moms and dads, you can hold hands and help each other in your tree pose. You can do your tree pose up against a wall, or you can watch a spot on the floor to keep your big birch tree balance. Good job, my friends. And what are we watching sway in the wind? What's swaying in the wind, my friends? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going to pick up this foot and I'm going to tripod here if balance is an issue, just tucking my toes there on the side. Otherwise, I'm going to bring my foot above or below my knee. I'm going to tuck my foot right there, bring my hands to heart center to get my balance. Good job, my friends. And then I'm going to bring my big Birch tree arms out. Good job, my little friends. Now, what are we watching sway in the wind? We're watching Clee's blankies. All her 12 little segments of blankies are swaying in the beautiful wind, in a gust of wind, right? Into the beautiful, sparkly sky. Good job, my friends. Coming back to our story. Okay. Let's see who else we have here. Guy is here. Thank you for joining us. All right. The star sewed the pieces of Clee's blanket back together with a pinprick threads. When they had finished, the shimmering pumpkin blanket draped itself around a mother-of-pearl pumpkin, and the folds winked at Clee from the night sky. Clee's father lifted her into the wheelbarrow and piled the fat-cheeked pumpkins around her. Clee laughed as they bounced through the garden gate into the house. And there is the blankie around the moon, friends, around the beautiful moon. And then here is Clee right here. I'll show up there for my Instagram friends. There's Clee in the wheelbarrow with all the beautiful pumpkins that her blankie helped to save. All right, friends, we are going to do one last pose here. We're going to do walking lunges. And I'm going to lift this camera up a bit again. Oh, I think it's still up. Okay, I think we're good. So that you can see me in walking lunges. All right, friends. So we are going to walk and lunge, and you can go all the way around your living room or your bedroom or your kitchen, wherever you're doing this class today. I'm just going to go on my mat back and forth so you can see me. So I'm going to walk and lunge. Okay, I want to see that knee come right down. Walk and lunge. I want to see that knee come right down to the floor. Walk and lunge. Walk and lunge. And you know Miss Mel has a bad left hip, but I'm still getting that knee down to the floor. See? Walk and lunge. Walk and lunge. Just like Clee's father is pushing that wheelbarrow. So if your balance is good, you can put your hands out forward and push the wheelbarrow, okay? If your balance is there. If your balance is off, then keep your hands on your hips, all right? Push that wheelbarrow with all the pumpkins and Clee inside, okay? Walk and lunge, walk and lunge. Good job, my friends. All right. Let's finish this off. Let's bring this camera back down so that you can see Miss Mel. Beautiful, beautiful. That Halloween, 12 lively faces lit Clee's porch. Their eyes and smiles shone far into the night. Now, I want you to look at this, friends. First, let's look at this picture here. Up there for my Instagram friends. Down here for my Facebook and YouTube friends. All of the wonderful jack-o'-lanterns that she carved and all of the wonderful faces. You see that, friends? And then second picture right here is Clee. Up there for my Instagram friends. She is looking out her front door at all of those jack-o'-lanterns, and look what she's holding here. One tiny last little piece, see right here, of that blankie behind her back as she looks out at all of her beautiful pumpkins. All right, friends, you know what time it is, my dears. Okay, that was the pumpkin blanket. It is now time for relaxation, my dear friends. Okay, lying down on the floor or sitting in crisscross applesauce or in hero's pose, my friends. Getting a comfortable position. Taking a deep breath in and out. And as you take that breath out, relax your shoulders, either into the floor or down towards the floor, depending on how you're sitting, my friends. Good job, my friends. One more breath in and out. Relaxing down into the floor. And if you're laying down, your arms are beside you with your palms facing up. And if you're sitting in hero's pose or crisscross applesauce, your hands are in your lap with your palms facing up. Closing your eyes if you feel comfortable. Good job, my friends. Relaxing your chest and your waist. Relaxing your arms and your hands. Relaxing your legs and your feet. Letting your feet drop off to the side if you're laying down. Going to your bum, where your bum's sitting on the floor if you're sitting. relaxing any tension that you may be holding there and just letting yourself fall into the floor. And slowly and silently, I want you to repeat to yourself, I am healthy. I am brave. Because that's what we learned in our story today. Klee was very brave, right? Klee had the most wonderful pumpkin blanket that was given to her when she was a little baby. And as she grew and grew, she saw that something else that was living was in need. And it wasn't necessarily another human. It was pumpkins. A living thing. A growing thing. The pumpkins were in need. And she opened her heart and she found bravery to share her pumpkin blanket with all of the 12 little pumpkins so that they could grow. And just like Klee shared and was brave, it took her a while, but she found her bravery. Just like Klee shared and was brave, so can you share and be brave. So I want you to take the knowing that you have the choice to be brave. You can be brave and you can feel fear and do something anyway. Or you can feel fear and you can give in to that fear. Okay, I want you to take that knowing that you have the choice to be brave every single day and put that deep inside your head. Keep that in your head, knowing that you have the choice. And I want you to take the feeling of being brave, that wonderful feeling that you feel inside your heart, that happiness that you feel when you're brave and it helps somebody or something. I want you to take that happiness and put it deep inside your heart. And then I want you to send that knowing and that feeling out to everybody around you. Send it to brothers and sisters, moms and dads, out to your neighbors, out to your teachers and your school friends, and all of the helpers out there and all of your extended family. And when you're done that, bring that knowing and that feeling back inside your head and your heart and hold it there. And for the next week, I want you to carry this I am affirmation with you. Carry I am happy I am healthy and I am brave with you until our next class, which will be tomorrow, but you can carry it with you for the whole week until next weekend. And slowly, when you're ready, friends, I want you to roll to one side if you're lying down, keeping your eyes closed, just staying on that side for a moment. And if you're sitting, keeping your eyes closed, just start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring yourself back. And when you're ready, friends, come on back up sitting and join me on my mat to end class. Good job, my loves. Good job. Sitting up nice and straight and tall in crisscross applesauce or in hero's pose. Good job, my dears. All right, my friends, bringing hands to heart center, we'll end class with namaste. I feel good in every way. The goodness in me sees the goodness in all of you. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friends, for episode 88 of Storytime Yoga. You know, I am so excited to be back with you guys today. This has been The Pumpkin Blanket by Deborah, Turney, Zagwyn, and you will find the links to purchase that book so that you can follow along with the replay after the fact, my friends. I do wish you all a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will see you tomorrow for episode 89, my friends. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. And we will end our